Welcome to the second episode of the Personal Foul Podcast with your host,
Okay.
Ed and Brandon.
What's up, everybody?
Oh, geez. Guys, relax.
Oh, we got props now. Okay.
No, it's the adoring fans that I have in the
Oh, okay.
I can't help it, you know what I'm saying? Like, so anyways, this
You.
podcast is all about the Guineas Mix and Spicks Fantasy Football League. This is our second episode, so we wanted to kind of give you guys an introduction to myself and Brand, and let you know a little bit about ourselves. And we have some special stuff going on in this episode, so make sure you stick to the end. And Brand, take it off.
So,
Take it away.
for, I'll take it off if you want. So first of all, I just want to say thank you to all the new followers and subscribers from Facebook.
Woo, yeah.
Is that who that's from?
Yep. I left it on the floor. It's useful.
So I've been a Jets fan for a long time now, since the Chad Pennington days. With Chad Pennington, John Abraham, Santana Moss. As you can tell, as an Eagles fan, shitty Eagles.
Fly Eagles fly, baby.
Probably been doing fantasy football for probably say about 10 to 15 years now.
Brand's old.
When we used to work together, I won that league once, and my brother won that league once.
I think
It's pretty much falling apart now.
that league still is trash.
Nobody really pays attention to that league anymore.
That was 8 years ago, by the way. 9 years ago. 9 years ago.
It was a long ass time ago.
Yeah.
Back when Gronk and Tom Brady were doing good.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. When he wasn't like bumbling up the sideline with a broken leg and a broken arm.
I remember when my dad was he used to do fantasy football, but like they didn't have all the computers and stuff like to keep track of everything now. So my dad used to have everything written down and put on like I guess a pegboard.
Like from the newspaper?
Like what?
Like from the newspaper he would get the stats?
No, he would have everything written down.
Oh my god.
Keep it track that way. I was like, that's insane. So lucky
Yeah.
we have computers now. Imagine doing that now.
I'm glad we're in the generation that we're in.
That's insane.
But so Brandon's a Jets fan. But I am an Eagles fan. Let's react to that one. But so I've been an Eagles fan for as long as I can remember. My primary reason was my dad's a Giants fan, and I enjoy pissing him off. So go Donovan McNabb back in the day. Go Michael Vick.
You like your Campbell soup?
I know, dog fights and all that stuff. Still a great quarterback. Nobody gives.
Nobody cares about what happens off the field.
Now we've got Ginger Jesus.
He'll be hurt. He'll play 4 games this year.
Excuse me. That was a bad hit last year. He shouldn't have gotten hurt. Jadeveon Clowney is a clown. Nobody likes him.
Says it in his
He
name.
doesn't have a contract right now.
So what about who's your favorite player, or from the past and now?
Let's see. I mean, Donovan McNabb was definitely my favorite player. I've always loved the Eagle greats, Brian Dawkins. Gotta love that, the energy. But it's funny because my two favorite players are no longer on the Eagles. Actually, Deshaun Jackson is kind of there.
The shell of his former self.
I love Shady McCoy. I miss him.
He's still playing.
Yeah, he's still playing, but I think he's on Kansas City. Actually, I don't even think he has a contract. I don't know. He gets hurt.
Yep. It's old age.
But Deshaun Jackson also got hurt, but he's still a beast. I don't know if you guys saw that first game last year. Destroyed.
What happened the rest of the year?
We have a really bad medical staff. I feel like the medical staff. I mean, I'm not saying that they don't want us to win, but they might have been betting on another team. Just saying, allegedly.
I hear a lot of excuses.
let's have an allegedly thing. Just scroll on the bottom, stroke it suit.
Like an ESPN alert.
Yeah, exactly. Your video has been demonetized due to just speculation. But yeah, our medical staff is terrible. Our medical staff is so bad. So I've been an Eagles fan for a very long time. But yeah, Deshaun Jackson, Shady McCoy. I mean, I love my Ginger Jesus now. Got my Wentz jersey.
I say, what about now?
Yeah, he delivered us to the promised land of the playoffs. And then my dude, Nick Foles, delivered us the Holy Grail, that beautiful Lombardi trophy, especially because it was over the Patriots.
That's even better. Anytime anybody beats the Patriots, it's awesome.
Oh, man, I love it. It's like a fire inside of me. I love it. So who's your favorite player, Brad?
From the past, it's Chad Ochocinco. Not a Jet, but I loved him.
All right.
And now it's Jamal Adams. Hoping they pay the man.
They won't.
I know.
I feel like the Jets never pay anybody.
They don't. And it's going to suck.
Like, they think they're Belichick, but they're not.
We paid Le'Veon Bell. That was great. Good signing.
I'm just saying, Le'Veon Bell did, like, keep my rushing yards, like, consistent last year.
I'll never forget when, I forget what year it was. It wasn't too long ago when we signed Brett Favre. I was up at midnight watching him get off the plane and shit. It's like, this is going to be great. Yeah, so much for that.
Yeah, about that.
He was good for 6 games.
Yeah. Well, he was also, how old at that point?
40-something. Close to it.
But yeah, so how did you get into football? Was it your dad?
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. I mean, when I was growing up, I didn't really watch sports. I played a lot of sports. That's all. I was always outside. I never really watched anything. Then, like 2001, I started watching basketball. Became a fan of the Nets when Jason Kidd and Kenyon Martin. Then I started watching football. Then we had Chad Pennington, Santana Moss, John Abraham, Donnie Abraham. They had a good team back then. Didn't win shit, but had a good team.
Yeah. Whatchamacallit? Yeah. When I think about it, like, I played like some sports, and I mostly played with my friends outside all the time, like playing football on the weekends or whatnot. And then I don't know. My dad was always watching baseball. I've always hated baseball. It
That's
is
weird.
the most boring game in the world. I don't understand how anybody watches it like full time. But I remember my dad getting super hyped about baseball, super hyped. Like if somebody was talking during baseball, like there was hell to pay. Like,
wow,
it was bad. And obviously, when you're a super crazy fan like that, who are you a fan of? The Yankees.
Yep.
Yeah. So I know every Yankee baseball player, and I can honestly say I can't stand the sport, the people, any of it.
All right.
Especially with the fact that they're crying right now about losing some money because they haven't been playing or whatever.
Millions of dollars. It's like, oh, I wish I had that option.
Yeah, right. Sorry to get paid to play the game that you didn't play. But yeah, football. My dad was always a Giants fan, and like I said, pissing him off was one of my favorite things in the world. So the Eagles was the next best choice, being in Jersey at the time. But yeah, I've always watched it casually, but it wasn't until like maybe like around the time I got into fantasy football, which was about 10 years ago, 12 years ago, maybe like, so a little bit after that. So maybe 15 years I've been watching it like religiously. Like I need to watch me some Eagles games.
Have you noticed that like once you start playing fantasy, you know more and more players?
Yeah. Oh, fantasy. If
you know
you're
exactly where they are.
Yeah. If you want to learn about football, fantasy is the great place to start.
Yep.
And it's funny because
you know who's where and who plays what position.
Yeah, like whenever like we have like a new owner in the league or anything like that, like in the old league that we used to do, like the simplest way to explain things was through fantasy, like talking about what a wide receiver was, what a running back was. Because fantasy, nobody gives a shit about the rules. Like you don't need to know what a timeout is. You don't need to know what a personal foul is. You don't need to know what holding or anything like that. Like all you care about is, hey, what is my team producing?
Yep.
It's nice and simple. Everybody likes nice and simple.
So the first league I joined, it wasn't. It was just like a random ass league. It wasn't even like with friends or anything. I didn't even know these people. So I joined this league, and um, they have defensive players you could draft, like linebacker, defensive line. Uh, I thought this is how it went. So I just joined this league, and I was like, all right, what the fuck? This is when Barrett Ruud was around. Played for the Buccaneers. Really good
How did you
linebacker.
how did you find out about the league?
I just went on like ESPN, and they had like random leagues you could join.
Oh, okay.
I did one of those. So I'm drafting like defensive backs and defensive linemen. Later on, I find out that that's not how fantasy works. Just supposed to be really offensive players.
That's funny.
I joined the wrong one.
Yeah, that's it. That's terribly. Yeah, that's the good thing about fantasy is that there's a million ways to do it. Like,
Yep.
there's a million ways to like draft. There's a million ways to like set up rules, and
Make it your
like
own.
yeah, like I think only recently have I ever had a league where it's two quarterbacks at the same time. Like the last few years, I've played those, but it was always just almost always done standard scoring leagues, like normal like regular leagues. Never done a defensive one. I don't care.
Don't do that.
I don't care who your defensive player is, to be honest.
Nope.
I will root for the Eagles defense and I'll know them by name, but I'm definitely for damn sure not cheering for a freaking corner on the Buccaneers. Like, that's not happening.
Isn't it funny how in fantasy football you could also root against your team?
Yeah, that's the dark side of fantasy. I feel
Yep.
like
The part that nobody wants to talk about.
yeah, when like your defense is up against your team and you're like
You really
no,
want the Jets to win, but you have the quarterback on the other team going against them.
yeah.
Like, well, I hope you get
Yeah,
like 99 yards. And you don't get that one extra yard for the touchdown.
yeah, depending on where we are in the year, like if it's early in the year, I'm like, all right, like it's whatever. Like, if they balance each other out, I'm happy. Like he throws 5 touchdowns and 4 picks, like it's all right. It'll balance out. But yeah, like that's like the rough part where you're just like you need it at the end of the year. Whereas like you need this to get into the fantasy playoffs, but your team also needs to get into the playoffs, and you're like, oh my god,
But like you said
like
last episode, you'll never draft Carson Wentz.
no, no, sorry, dear Jesus, not happening. I'm not putting that bad juju on myself. I love you, but you get hurt often.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, I'm an honest Eagles fan. I'm an honest Eagles fan. Yeah, so the it's just crazy. Like fantasy's crazy, and what's even crazier is when you think about the like sections that you could have done or the decisions you could have made. Like last year, like my biggest regret is definitely actually I have two big regrets. Now we're gonna discuss this because the second one was just it was intimate. The first one was on the league. Everybody has a keeper. As a new owner, I had to pick first out of everyone who I wanted as a keeper.
So
And
there's 9 other owners. We all had our keepers already since we played last year. You can only keep one player from your team from last year. So Ed joined. He wasn't on the team last year. He didn't have a team, so he got to pick from after everybody else picked their keepers. He got to pick from all the remaining players left.
and the top two were Alvin Kamara and Christian McCaffrey. And we all know how this went. Just say it.
How did it go? I forgot.
It's okay to have a white running back, guys. Just saying, if you're going past on past history, I did make the right choice. Like, how often does a white running back go off? But anyway,
For next episode, I'm coming in with like a bunch of like white running backs that are really good, right?
yeah, that's fine. You know what? Let's make this a little more difficult.
It's gonna be a
How
very
many
short list.
Panthers running backs have ever been good?
That's true. Jonathan Stewart,
Yeah.
D'Angelo Williams.
Number ones, though? Number ones?
D'Angelo Williams was when he was young.
Yeah. But yeah, it's been a while. So I was thinking, Breeze is coming in hot. Michael Floyd's going to be catching the ball. Kamara's going to be going crazy. That did not happen, unfortunately. My other second biggest regret, and it's funny because I'm sitting next to your brother, this draft. Hopefully we can record the draft this year. That would be very cool to like have everybody watch that. But I'm sitting next to your brother, and I'm like looking at the quarterbacks, and I didn't realize, obviously, like I'm new to the league, so I was looking over the rules, and I didn't realize how important it was to have a lot of quarterbacks. So I'm looking for a second quarterback, and I have my choice of Lamar Jackson and at that time, was it Kyler Murray or was it Jacoby Brissett? It was Jacoby Brissett.
I think it was Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah. And I'm like, you know what? Lamar Jackson is going to break his knees in a couple games because what running back runs like that as much as he does and accomplishes anything? So I was like looking at your brother. I was like, all right. I even showed him like my draft like note, and I looked at it and I was like, Jacoby Brissett, Lamar Jackson. I was like, so Lamar Jackson's probably going to get hurt. Jacoby Brissett, I was like, there's no Andrew Luck, so he could do something. And Marlon Mack, I believed in Marlon Mack. Marlon Mack did really well for me. I was like, he's got Marlon Mack. I was like, he's got a couple receivers. I was like, should be good. I was like, Jacoby Brissett is a safer option. I'm just gonna do it. Yeah. He was like, I guess. He was like, I don't know. You know how Jay is. So I pulled the trigger, pulled Jacoby Brissett, and we all know how that went.
Everybody
What was your biggest draft regret?
everybody already knows Baker Mayfield.
Hey, that's right. We're talking to the man that drafted Baker Mayfield.
I will never have Baker Mayfield on my team again.
Do you remember the moment when you drafted him? When you like looked at your sheet?
I didn't draft him. He was my keeper. So
He was your keeper? How did I not know that?
Literally,
what were your options?
Todd Gurley or Baker Mayfield. Todd Gurley would have been good if he wasn't coming off having knee surgery in the offseason.
Yeah.
And once a running back gets knee surgery, you're pretty much downhill from there.
Yeah, that's true.
And all the experts said Baker Mayfield was going to be a top 3 quarterback.
Well, he had Odell Beckham Jr.
Exactly, Jarvis Landry, Nick Chubb, and it's like, oh, all right, he can't go wrong here. He went wrong.
My best decision was drafting Nick Chubb first round. So I had Alvin Kamara and Nick Chubb. You knew I was gonna run the running back league categories. I was gonna destroy.
Who was your first pick? Your first pick was
Nick Chubb.
Julio Jones.
Oh, Julio Jones.
You got Nick Chubb round 4.
Marlon Mack, and I had who was my other running back?
Ed had a good team here. He had Alvin Kamara, Julio Jones. Then he drafted Mike Evans. Then Nick Chubb. What the hell is this?
I had a good third running back too.
Then he drafted Kyler Murray. Then Cooper Kupp. He drafted Alshon Jeffrey, Marlon Mack. Oh, you had David Montgomery from Chicago.
Mack after Alshon Jeffrey?
Yeah.
Oh my God! What is wrong with the league?
You actually took Jacoby Brissett in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You took him in the 10th round. That's not bad.
That happened. But yeah, so I had a really great team. But you know what happens with great teams is they all die.
Yep.
Let's not even talk about how Kamara failed me.
I made a good trade once. I traded for Aaron Rodgers. So Baker Mayfield pretty much tanked my season. And then I had about a 3-week window where if I was gonna make any sort of comeback in this league, that's what I needed to do before the trade deadline. Traded for Aaron Rodgers, didn't get any points. So
the first week that you got Aaron Rodgers, didn't he score like 12?
No, he did really good. He threw for like 400 yards, and he was doing.
Was that the second week? It was like right after your trade where he just did nothing.
Yeah, it was one of them. I think it was either second or third week. Because then I was like, all right, now I got to trade him. So then, after I didn't get any points, then I was just looking for a keeper at that point because I wouldn't be able to keep Aaron Rodgers because he was kept by Uncle Billy the year before. So then I was looking for just trying to get a decent quarterback or somebody to keep for next year. Wound up packaging him and giving him to my dad for Jameis Winston and Odell Beckham. Wound up trading Jameis Winston to my uncle Danny, for Lamar Jackson. And now I got Lamar Jackson as my keeper this year.
Yeah, the trade worked out for you in the end.
Yeah.
So So the crazy thing about the league is that after we do our draft and everything, everybody picks their players and everything like that. We have a half hour where we can trade with no fees. Because remember, so every time we pick someone up, it's
$5,
dollars. Every time we trade someone,
$10.
$10. You can only trade once per owners. So the first half hour after the draft, you can trade with whoever. Doesn't affect anything. No fees. You can still trade with that person later. You trade whatever. My favorite memory of all time is the second after we finished the draft is your uncle Bobby walking over, being like, "So Carson Wentz." I knew I shouldn't have worn a Ginger Jesus jersey to the draft. I knew I shouldn't. I told myself, I was like, "Don't wear this to the draft. You know, somebody's gonna pick him, and somebody's gonna try to trade him."
Yep.
And it
Sounds all
happened.
right. I traded Leonard Fournette for Jarvis Landry right after the draft because I had Baker Mayfield thinking, he can't mess this up. Turns out I gave Leonard Fournette to Sean, who had Leonard Fournette and Derrick Henry going off at the same time, which
Yeah.
pretty much kept them in the middle of the pack and eventually to win the league.
What's funny though is, so my running backs, literally in just the first half of the year, put me so far ahead that nobody caught up in the running back category.
That's
Like I
insane.
think I was the rushing yards leader like the entire league year.
And,
Nick Nick Chubb kept me up there for almost the
yeah,
entire year.
yeah, you got lucky with him.
I didn't get lucky. It's a good draft.
What
Amaze
about
balls.
any bad trades?
Um, so because I know Brandon's gonna bring it up, I did trade Nick Chubb and Mike Evans away. Did I trade anybody else away?
There was somebody
Uh,
else, but it was two nobodies because Uncle Billy couldn't figure it out.
yeah. Oh, that's right. You ended up giving me Hollywood Brown, didn't you?
Somebody, yeah. Oh, yeah. I gave you somebody that started
And he
doing
went
good for the
off.
Ravens. Yeah,
He went
yeah,
off
yep.
after
No,
that.
yeah, it was Marquise Brown. Oh, is that his nickname? Hollywood Brown?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, it was.
For some reason, I was gonna say Showtime, and I'm like, he's definitely not
No,
Showtime.
I remember that. I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
Yeah, and it was like, Uncle Billy couldn't figure out how to do like 2-person. I mean, 3-person for 2
Yeah,
people.
that's what it was.
Yeah. So I traded away obviously Nick Chubb and Mike Evans, and got Deshaun Watson, uh,
That's where Deshaun Watson went. Yeah, I traded you.
Le'Veon Bell,
Yeah.
and Showtime Brown because I desperately needed a quarterback
Yep.
because Jacoby Brissett had just died. I think almost literally.
And you wanted a receiver because you had a bye week.
Yes.
That's why you got Hollywood Brown. And of course, he fucking went off that week.
Yeah. And my running back, I was so high up in like the categories on rushing that I wasn't too worried about it. And Mike Evans was having issues because Jameis Winston could not stop throwing picks. Like,
But
could not.
threw a ton of touchdowns.
Also, I had Julio Jones and Cooper Kupp, who were both destroying the receiving yardage and receptions too.
But didn't get touchdowns.
Yeah, that was my biggest issue. Touchdowns like screwed me this year. Like Julio Jones does not score touchdowns ever.
Nope.
I think he got 2 all year.
What about anything you think you could have done better?
Draft those 2 people. No, let's see. Anything that I could have done better. I feel like I should have kept everyone. I should have just kept my original team and just stuck it out. Like Cooper Kupp definitely screwed me because he died at the end of the year. But like I should just wrote it out. And then at least I would have kept Nick Chubb next year.
Makes sense. I had Austin Eckler beginning of the year when he was doing great.
Dude,
Everybody offered me trades for Austin Eckler. I was like, no, I said no to everybody. So I was like, no, Melvin Gordon's gonna sit out the whole year. And I was like, Austin Eckler's gonna be amazing. And then as he's doing great, fucking Melvin Gordon's like, oh yeah, now's my time to come back. Then nobody wanted Austin Eckler. I could have got some real good value for Austin Eckler for and then somebody else only have him for like half a year.
Yeah. I could have gotten somebody for Cooper Kupp. The problem with Cooper Kupp is that they always wanted like Marlon Mack or Nick Chubb with him.
Yep.
I was like, I don't want to give up my running backs. Like my running back game was so strong.
I don't blame you.
Yeah. But yeah, and then we all know what happened with Deshaun Watson, the quarterback. He decided to no longer be a quarterback.
I forgot that's where he went. I was trying to figure out who I traded him to.
Yeah. Yeah, he stopped throwing. He literally did absolutely nothing. And that's why DeAndre Hopkins is gone. So, wait.
Oh
Now that we're
yeah.
talking about
Speaking of
bad
bad
trades, worst trade of the season. Naming
Oh.
it right now.
So our GM Brittany and GM Billy decided to make a trade. Brittany always says how everybody's always cheating and everybody's out to screw them from winning the league, which isn't true. They just are not really that good at fantasy football. So she offers DeAndre Hopkins to my uncle for Mecole Hardman, the sixth-string wide receiver on the Chiefs. I guess she thought he's on the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes is the quarterback. He's going to be awesome. And Uncle Billy accepts it. He gets DeAndre Hopkins for a sixth-string receiver. Everybody was pissed.
Oh my God. I don't think I've ever texted people so much like until I saw it traded. It was just like, what the fuck? I was like, that's it. That's collusion. I was like, collusion calling it right now. Everybody shut it down. I was like, the whole league needs to shut down ASAP. Well, because he traded McCall Hart for DeAndre Hopkins, and there was another trade that was just
Yeah, but that one got vetoed.
did it?
Yeah, because it was just ridiculous.
Which one was that one?
I forget, but it was something stupid. So I think the rule here is like don't drink and trade.
Yeah, or don't trade at 2:00 in the morning.
Oh, that was
Yeah,
funny.
because I think I talked to Uncle Billy right after that. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, where did that come from? I was like, what are you? They paying you or something? Or, and then, or no, I was like, are you paying them? And then he said that he just threw out a bunch of random texts in the middle of the night. He was like, I just threw out a bunch of trade offers, and apparently her and her dad accepted
Stupid.
the Coupos.
Yep. And that's why they come in last place.
We introduced that last
Yep.
episode. All right. So I mean, yeah, like the friggin' trade game can really like screw everyone at this point.
If you join this league, expect phone calls middle of the night. Uncle Billy's
Yeah,
on his computer all
um,
hours of the night. If he
you'll
wakes up
see
in the middle of the night,
treat later. During your special treat later, you'll get a firsthand glimpse of how this works.
you'll be sleeping and your phone will be going off at 3 in the morning. Uncle Billy decided just to get up, go on his computer, and who can I trade? During football season, nobody's safe.
Yeah, and he will literally just be like, I think this guy. I heard he's coming down with something.
I think he just got shot. I don't think you should play him.
Got called by the owner, and like he was just telling me, like, he's been doing a lot of drugs lately, like a lot of drugs. Can't get him to stop. And that's how you end up winning or losing. Speaking of winning, when you win this league, yes, you get money, blah blah blah. Like, yeah, that's all good and dandy. But the trophy, is this majestic creature, and I had never seen something so great for a fantasy football league. Besides the Shiva, I don't know if you guys watched the league. That shit was epic.
If you don't, you need to watch it.
Yeah, watch the league. What the fuck are you doing watching this? I'm just kidding. Watch this first, then go watch the league. It's on Hulu. What's it called? No, but not the Shiva. The trophy for the league is pretty sweet. I'm gonna post a picture here, and I'll edit a picture. Don't worry.
I hate you.
So then, so you get your name on the little plaque with the year that you won, and we're almost all the way around the trophy because the league's been going on for so long. So it's almost full. But yeah, so the winner of the league gets that. And there's also a separate league to this league, and it's called the Picks League. And that one is where you actually pick who's going to win every week.
Yeah,
And
you
Brandon
pick
can
the
explain
team.
that one. I haven't done that one yet. I'm going to do that one this year, but
You
explain
pick
that
the teams based on the point spread. They get the point spread from I believe it's CBS, and that's what they use. So, the Picks League, it's $100 buy-in a person. Whoever has the most picks right at the end of the year, you get $700. But you also get to pick where we're having the dinner at for our fantasy football dinner, where everybody gets the money for what they won and everything.
We went to this Portuguese steakhouse.
Soler
In
Dominio in Belleville.
yes, Salar de Minho, in Belleville. Oh my God!
It's better to have a Spix A. You
So
say it a
I'm gonna
lot
put a
better.
picture of my food right here. Boom, boom. That's a clay, like Portuguese tile that's made of clay that they cook the steak on. Beautiful. Made me so happy.
Even if you come in second place, you still get $300. So even for $100, you come in second, you still get triple your money.
Yeah, yeah. I'm doing that league this year. I didn't do it last year. I suck at pick leagues, to be honest.
So do I. I came in second the one year, and then third the year before that. Just luck of the draw, really. When you're going by points,
Yeah.
unless you're like one of those degenerate gamblers, and you know.
If you have a gambling addiction, please call 1-800 gambling. I don't know,
I think
maybe
so.
counselor standing by. Um, speaking of degenerates, let's talk about changes. There was really
I was
there's
wondering
really
where the
no
hell this segue was going.
there's no segue to that. Changes to the league. We suggest changes. And then obviously there's an owners meeting where you discuss any changes to rules, anything like that. The
Eat some
one
really
thing
good food.
I really just want is a Sacco trophy. Like I think the last place of the league should have something stupid.
We've been discussing that for a while. We just don't know what.
Maybe a
I
shirt.
I did find some cool shirts that says "I suck at fantasy football" with like unicorns and shit on them.
Yeah.
And
But like
I think we should present that this year and just have it like
Brittany would love to wear that.
you should have like you should have to wear it like to the draft and wear it all draft.
Yeah. Wear it all draft and at the final meeting.
Oh, or at the dinner.
No, we present it at the dinner. The
Oh
person
yeah,
has to put it on and wear it throughout the dinner. And then they have to wear it to the draft.
I like it.
And they have to take one picture at work with the
At
shirt
work,
on.
at work.
Maybe not that part.
I think we should be able
I
to
wouldn't
do.
mind. Nice like bull testicle trophy. Like if you
I think we should be able to do maybe like two trades per owner instead of just one. Because then
price cheat.
no, like so I was trying to set up. We were trying to set up like a three-way trade last year between me, Jay, and Uncle Billy, but then we realized I couldn't trade with Uncle Billy anymore. So he could no longer. Me and him could both no longer be in that trade. So it would be kind of hard. So I think we should do like one trade per owner per like one-on-one, and then you should get a second one if you want to do like a three-team trade or something like that.
Yeah.
There's
Cool
got to be a way. There's got to be a way to figure that out.
So you want to benefit yourself. That's cool. Whatever.
I hate you.
What you call it? But yeah, we have to figure out something for the loser because just the shame of sucking at fantasy football isn't enough.
It's not enough.
It's not. We need a way to present your shittiness.
we could just call it the Koopa.
Brittany, don't get mad. I didn't say it. I don't want an email about like discussing this.
So when Ed first came on, this is a segue into that. When Ed
Yeah.
first joined the league, he started talking shit immediately. Started with Uncle Chris.
Just being truthful. That's all I'm saying.
Started talking shit to Uncle Chris, and then all of a sudden started getting emails and text messages if he had seen if he wanted any problems. Oh, it
From
was
his
funny.
daughter. From his daughter. That was great. I loved it. Made me so happy. That's what I do. I talk shit. Get over it. But yeah, this is why the league works so well. All right.
Yep.
All right, but I mean, that's kind of all we've got as the introduction to us, introduction to our history. And next up, don't forget, we didn't forget the special surprise. I feel like I'm talking to one of my kids. Like, oh my God, you get your dinner, here's some fucking ice cream. But no, this is better than ice cream. It's great. It's amazing. We have an illustrious guest for you guys today. You're welcome. I know, we're amazing. I know. But introducing the one, the only, Uncle Billy. The Bronco. Fuck.
See, I stole you throw it that time.
Oh. Yes, this is Uncle Billy. All right. Hey, everybody.
Hey,
So we have Uncle Billy.
What's going on?
So the first thing we want to do is we need to set one thing straight from the very beginning, from the very, just the jump of everything. The founder, the owner, the creator of the Guineas Mix and Spicks Fantasy Football League. This is that person.
That's me.
This is Uncle Billy, guys. I think he's like, that's me.
That would be me. Many, many moons ago, 15 years ago to be exact. We're going on our 16th year. We started this, I believe, I put it down even so I didn't make a mistake. I believe it was 2004 we started this.
That's insane.
And me and the family, we all got together. The kids were younger then. You got to think now, it's 15 years ago.
Dude, I was a sophomore in high school.
That's what I mean. These kids were young yet. And, we all had a party and stuff. And, I really liked the O'Neills, for being O'Neills, And I thought to Kerry, I said to Kerry one day, I said, it'd be nice. We always get together. I said, families always, drift apart, especially when they live away from each other. So I said to myself, I'm playing fantasy football with these dudes in Boston. And, it was like this. This is throwback fantasy football. This is what they call rotisserie football. Not that shit they do now head to head and all this other stuff. This makes you have to play every week. And, you have to find what categories you're bad in. You have to adjust. Where the other one, it's just week to week thing and you start all over. And it's just, it's cool. But you got to use your head a lot more in this.
Yeah. This is real fantasy football.
Wait, that explains why the Coupons are on last.
Here we go. This is original rotisserie football. They didn't call it fantasy; they called it rotisserie football in the beginning.
And let me just prepare the audience. Now that Uncle Billy and Brandon are here, Coupons, get ready to be shit on.
Boy, you got to remember though, they are sneakily, if that's a word, sneakily dumb. They're not as stupid as they want you to think. Believe me. Chris and Brittany got a head on their shoulders, and sometimes they play possum with you. They're pretty smart, to be honest with you. And I got news for you. If they left their teams alone, for the most part, a lot of times they had a good shot.
Yep.
Yeah, they draft all right. They draft all right.
They're very good at the draft. They know what they're doing during the year. But Cooper lets Bobby get in their head, Chris. Once Bobby gets in their head, it's all over. They explode. Oh,
and the audience knows Bobby is the one that will make you think you're a fake fan if you don't take the player.
Yep.
Bobby's the only guy I know we're bouncing around here because we didn't even finish the first question, but yeah. Bobby's the guy that'll call you up and tell you how. Am I allowed to curse?
Of course.
Yes.
Bobby's the guy that'll call you up and tell you how fucked up your team is, how terrible this player is. But because he's such a nice guy, he's going to make a trade with you for that terrible player you have.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah. Shut up, you.
I told Brandon, I was like, that's my favorite. Like, obviously, I've only been at the 1 year. One of my favorite moments was the second after the draft where Bobby walks up to me. He's like, I mean, you got a Carson Wentz jersey on. What, do you not like him? You didn't draft him. He's like, I drafted him. Maybe if you want to trade Nick Chubb and somebody, I'll give him to you. I was like, what the fuck?
Right, yeah, I know. Yeah, that's him in a nutshell. He'll convince you that your team sucks. And if you're not thinking, he'll get you like he does to Chris sometimes. Like, you really remember now, Chris is smart now. Chris don't even talk to him anymore about fantasy football because he screwed them over a couple of years ago. Now they're my best friends, not his.
Well, they don't talk at all on the message boards anymore.
No. Oh, listen, there's nobody funnier than Chris when he gets a roll going on the message board.
Yeah?
He's one, bro, listen to me. I know you don't know him well, but he has me in tears on the message board when he starts going on a roll. Even when he's cursing at me, I'm hysterical laughing because he's just so funny. And he knows his shit. He's not stupid. I'm telling you, he's good. He knows his stuff. But when he gets cursing, and if he has a couple of drinks, you always know when he has a couple of drinks.
Everything's spelled wrong.
Because he starts talking Chinese. But the unfortunate part is we know what he's saying.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But, all right, so 14 years ago, we started the thing, and I came up with this plan about having fantasy football. It'll be nice. It keeps the family together. We get to talking. I thought it lasted a couple of years. Easy. All of a sudden, 16 years later, it's stronger than ever. We have fun. You have to, and I'm being serious, you have to have strong skin. You have to have tough skin to be in this league because we're bad. We get bad. We talk about everybody and their mother. We curse. We call them stupid. I've been called names I never heard of before. Hell,
You gotta Google it. You gotta Google it sometimes.
Brittany is the smart. Hey, Brittany's one of the smartest ones in the family, and she called me names I didn't know what the hell they meant. I had to look them up. But she's a sweet kid, and we have fun, and then that's what started it. And we had, we just have a lot of fun doing it, and I'm glad it lasted this long. And we actually have a waiting list. We can't have more than 10. It's no fun. It just waters down the rosters. But we have a waiting list, like 8 people that want to play, waiting for somebody to quit or something. Ain't nobody going to quit. We have too much fun, And really, it's not about the money so much the camaraderie, the fun we have, Yeah,
it's a good time. We talked about on the last episode. We talked about draft day. Everybody gets together at your house. The food, all of that stuff. It's good stuff.
So what is your, speaking on draft?
Just the late night talk.
What's that?
What is your favorite?
I said all the late night talks. That's what
oh my God.
Oh yeah, when Uncle Billy calls you out like 3 a.m.
I do that to everybody. So, what'd you say? What's my favorite draft?
Yeah. What would you say is your favorite draft memory?
What was that? Unfortunately, Kupo did something. What was the guy's name? I wrote it
Mohamed
down.
Sanu.
No, it wasn't Sanu, but that was one of them.
Oh, I was telling Ed about that.
Let me see if I have the guy's name. Bro, you're not going to believe what I tell you because it was funny.
Was this the Chad Johnson one?
Well, that was one. Yeah, okay. Here's one of them. I think it was Jason drafted Ocho Cinco.
Yeah.
So Jason drafted Ocho Cinco, and we go on. So Chris goes, "Hold on, I want Chad Johnson." We all looked at him like, "Chris, Chad Johnson is Ocho Cinco." No, it ain't. You fucking guys are trying to cheat. No, that's his name, Ocho Cinco. And it was the funniest thing. He fought me for fucking 20 minutes. And then they looked it up and he saw it and then he starts laughing with his little Italian laugh. He busts out. He goes, "Oh, shit. Okay, no problem." So then later on in the draft, I think it was a kicker for Kansas City. He picked the punter. He looked up kickers, and he picked Kansas City's punter, Cohen or something like that, for the kicker. So we left it alone. We just let it go until later on. Technically we're supposed to know this is in the beginning. So we were really more cutthroat then than we are now. At least now we say, listen, the guy's not playing. Where back then we let it go to the end and say, listen, by the way, that's not a kicker, that's a punter. You know what I mean? But that's some of my funniest draft choices. Not counting the fact that over the years he's picked 5 people that were retired and one I think was dead.
No, my favorite part of I was telling Brad, I was like, one of my favorite memories of this draft was right before the draft, obviously, Andrew Luck retired this past year. So right before they get there, we're like, nobody say shit about Andrew Luck because we will draft Andrew Luck.
Hey, listen, I think somebody told him on the side because I don't think he knew. I got to be honest. That was funny. We have good times, man. We really do. There's so much going on in the league. I'm looking forward to the future. You know, what the thing.
No, yeah, we were actually talking to Sean about maybe talking to everybody about not live streaming, but recording most of the draft this year, just so that they can see kind of like, you know, how it goes around and things like that.
How everybody makes fun of each other.
Oh, we can do it. I mean, probably everybody in the room tells me to shut the fuck up maybe 6 times each. You know, but listen, it's what it's about. It makes us laugh. We're glad, Ed, that you're in it. You're like family. I mean, you fit right in, bro. Listen. Anytime I call somebody 2:00 in the morning, he laughs at me. He's one of the boys.
Yeah, that's how it works.
You know, I'm fucking calling everybody, texting people. Come on, you're not sleeping. Call me. Wake me up. Little do I know you got to get up 5:00 in the morning for work. You know, and I'm sitting back retired. I don't give a shit about nothing. You know.
Definitely been there.
Yeah. Uh-huh. But yeah, so that's that. That's my favorite memory. That's one of my many favorite memories. I mean, there was other memories where Bobby and I went in. This was pre-Kentucky vacation. Bobby and I went into the draft with a mind frame because he went 4th, I went 5th. And we know we're never getting Peyton Manning. We know we're never getting Brady. All of a sudden, the first 3 guys that went picked everything but Brady and Manning. And we looked at each other like, what just happened? They were picking, remember when Carson Palmer was decent and, you know, they were picking players like that. And Brady and Manning went right to us, right in our pockets. We were amazed. We didn't win, but we were amazed. Yeah. And then
it made for a good memory, though. It made for a good memory. That's what matters.
Yeah, exactly. And then that one time that Brandon's father, his very last pick. Who was his last pick? Remember that draft? Kurt Warner. I said, you got one more pick. Let's go. We got to end this. All right, give me Kurt Warner. And he walks away. The game's over. Everything's over. First game of the season, the quarterback for the Rams. What was his name?
Oh, it was a young kid. Was it Bradford?
No, he started with an L.
No, Kurt Warner didn't take over for Bradford.
I don't know. Whatever. He got hurt. And that was the MVP year for Kurt Warner. and that's the year that he won.
Yep.
2 years. He won this league. And both years, one was because Tommy picked up one of the last one. And the other year,
he didn't draft the kicker.
He waited until the very first game. He had 2, which was smart. He had 2 extra picks in the draft because he didn't draft the kicker. And then he waited till the season was just about to start. He didn't care about the $10. He dropped the two players he didn't want and picked up 2 kickers. Because you don't know. You know as well as I do now that you're in this league. Kicking don't matter. Every year you're going to pick every week you're going to pick a different fucking kicker depending on where they're playing and who's playing. Very seldom are you going to have that one kicker that's always going to, like with Kansas City, he's a lock. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You get those high-scoring teams, but after those 3, you know, you kind of pick and choose. You know what I mean? And believe it or not, that category can cost you the league, which it has in a story I'll tell you later. Oh yeah. But
so speaking of kickers and, you know, the different players that people always pick, I see that you got your Giants jersey going. Let's talk about a little bit about Billy. What's the favorite team and favorite player?
Past and present.
Wow. All right. So my favorite player, I have to admit, it's got to be Peyton Manning. I gained a lot of respect for Peyton Manning over the years. When he was in college, he gave up his senior year. Here's a kid that's going to leave the college and make millions. But he wanted to stay in school to win that national championship. And he stayed in school that year, and he didn't win, but he stayed in when he could have came out and got easy money. You got to respect a guy like that. And then he came in, and I won. Listen, last time you guys said I won 5 times. I won 6 times, just for the record. Okay? That's half. That's double what everybody else won.
Those are faulty number by Sean.
Yeah, I won in.
That's because Sean's a liar. That's why.
He's not a liar. You just don't remember stuff. Yeah, I won in 2005, 7, 9, 11, 12, and my greatest accomplishment was 16. The only reason why I didn't win anything in 17, 18,
19.
and 19. No, I'm sorry. The only reason why I didn't win, let me get that right. 9, 12. The only reason why I didn't do anything in 13, 14, and 15, because right after football season in 2012, after I won, Kentucky happened. So I had other things on my mind for 3 years.
You were busy for 3 years.
I was busy for 3 years, and I wasn't thinking of fantasy football. So what happens? Well, like I said, that's a story. You want to know my one of my favorite fantasy football memories? When you ask that question, I'll tell you. But that's that. Yeah.
So what about favorite player present?
You gotta love McCaffrey, even though he cost me the league. You gotta love him. You gotta remember, I had a great team this year. At the end there, player for player, I had a great team. But what I always practiced, what I always preached, I didn't practice. I always told everybody, especially this kid down there, I said, listen, you got a great quarterback, but he's not going to get you what you want a quarterback's going to get you. You know what I mean? He's going to rush a lot of yards for you, but he's not going to get you. And the proof is in what I went through. I had 2 of the best running backs in the football, 1 and 2, didn't they?
Yeah.
And what did they do? The last 6 weeks of the season cost me 10 points. Receive the ball. I got them because I could have gained 9 points in rushing. So everything I did worked perfectly. I got what I wanted. I got the 1 and 2 running backs in the league. And as soon as I get them, they start catching the fucking ball and not running it. McCaffrey was getting 130 yards receiving and 13, 14 yards rushing. You know what I mean? And the other guy, who was the other guy? Who was my other running back? 1 and 2. They were 1 and 2 for the longest time. Regardless, my memory sucks. But anyway, they both start receiving the ball and cost me the league. Even Sean and I were discussing it last time. Last time I talked to him, how I win this league easily if they just ran the ball instead of received the ball, because I had a lot of points in receiving already. And that's what he's going to run into. He thinks he's got this mega quarterback here.
Yeah, Lamar Jackson over here.
Yeah, Lamar Jackson. He thinks he's going to do good with him. Yeah, you might be number 1 in rushing yards, but you ain't getting shit in passing touchdowns and shit, because he don't do that. That's what he does. He's good to have on your team. He's not a good starter. He's good for
you should trade him.
Right? He's good. No, I'm not doing a Bobby thing. He's good.
Where's Bobby when you need him? Where's Bobby?
Yeah, right. Now he's going to be good for later on in the season when you need rushing or whatever. Then you throw him in. If you notice this year, he was on the waiver wire for a long time. Something just came up on my computer.
Meeting has unlimited minutes. Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, it's been up.
That's weird.
Okay. But yeah, so that's that. But that's that's my favorite play. I like McCaffrey. He's not the biggest guy in the league, but I love that kid. He plays some football. He goes to play.
Yeah. He fights for it.
Everything. Every yard he gets, he will not go down. It doesn't matter how big you are, how smart you are. He don't give a shit who you play for. He'll go down. He won't go down.
I hate his guts because he's white. But
well, listen, us white people, we have guts sometimes.
Yeah. I told Brandon, I was like, that's the only reason I picked up Kamara as the first pick. I was like, there's no way a white running back is going up.
Yeah. Kamara's another one. Kamara does everything but what he's supposed to do. Rush the ball.
Exactly.
And those are the ones that kill you, because you don't want to get rid of him, because you want him on your team, but he's a wasted spot because he does good in everything, but not in one thing that you want him for.
Yeah.
That's important. You pick a quarterback, you're picking him for what? Passing
Run the ball.
No, not to run
quarterback.
the ball. That's you. You're picking a quarterback to throw the ball. You're picking a running back to run the ball. You're picking a receiver to receive the ball. When they don't do that, I don't give a shit how good they do in the other category. They're taken away from the category you picked them, which is why I won 6 times.
There you go. Fantasy football knowledge for all you viewers out there.
That's right. Listen, you got to remember, in year 1, I'm skipping around here with what I'm doing because I had a plan. But in year 1, you weren't here. I don't even know if you were in the league yet. Year 1, I lost by a half a point because with 30 seconds left in the game, I have this one. All right. And Sean's father had the Jets kicker on a Sunday night game. All they have to do is take a knee. I'm the winner of the first National Football League fantasy football. And what does the son of a bitch do? With 20 or 30 seconds to go on the clock, they're down by 20. He kicks a field goal. I lose by a half point. Or I'd have 7.
Down
Right.
by 20, and they kick a field goal.
They kick the field goal with 30 seconds to go, so the kicker can get a field goal. For what? I don't know. All right?
Typical Jets doing pointless shit.
Pointless. They were playing against Miami Dolphins. And I'm like, I don't understand this. What just happened?
You lost.
And I lost by a half point. Because you got to remember, the first 4 or 5 seasons, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, we didn't have On Roto. I did everything by myself via paper. I wrote everything down there all week. I did everything. I did the stats, and everybody can keep up with their own stats. They did, but they only kept up with their own. And if I didn't match theirs, they'd know I made a mistake or something. You know what I'm saying? Never wrong. Every year I had it right. It was because I was used to it. And then we looked for something. I was tired of it. It's a lot of work. And then we looked for something. We found On Roto, and that's when I told Sean. I said, Sean, listen, man. Sean's very smart, as we all know. Him and Brittany are the brains of the family. And I asked him, I said, listen, if I do this, I'll take care of it. We'll take care of them. We'll give them whatever they want. Trust me, it was well worth it. I said, will you run the league for me? Just please. Because he's good with the computer. He knows his emails. He knows everything. And he runs the league, and he does a great job doing it. I mean, he's good at what he does. All I have to do is call him up and say, listen, send out an email. Boom, no problem. You know what I mean? And it's good, too, because we screw around with each other, all of us. But business is business, and he knows when I ask him to do something, he just does it right away. He don't know, whatever. He's good that way. And
Sean's good people. He's not the founder, but he's good people.
Listen, man, Sean, look in my eye. You're not the founder. I'm the founder. When I die, you can tell everybody you were the founder.
There you go.
So yeah.
You heard it here first. Exclusive.
Right. Exclusive from the founder. So there. But yeah, it's like I said, this is wonderful, and I can't wait. I'm hoping that. By the way, Bobby says, "Hey, listen, we're probably not going to have a league this year." Bobby, he's Mr. Positive.
Yeah.
We're probably not going to have a league this year, but he might be right. I don't know, but I'm hoping that they take care of all the sick shit and we do what we have to do.
Everything's coming back. I don't see why we wouldn't have football.
I know. Hey, listen, they're opening the fucking beaches. They can't play football.
Yeah, basketball's coming back on the 31st.
Yeah, you got thousands of people sniffing each other's breath on the beach right next to each other on the weekend. They can't play football?
Yeah. I see it.
It makes no sense. But it is what it is.
So, I mean, the league's been around for so long. They've been through quite a few rule changes, a lot of changes in the league. Brandon and I were talking in the episode. We were talking about some changes. And the one thing we said is, maybe like a loser trophy of some kind. Or like a loser shirt, loser something. Just to signify, hey, I suck.
I know where this is going, guys.
So, what changes would you choose to make for the league?
What I do want to do is I want to do something, and this is something I discussed with Sean already, and we're going to discuss it at the summer meetings in August. What I'm thinking of doing is, I don't like, and a few people have said this to me, they're not happy with the trading thing, with the one trade. There should be a couple more trades because that's part of the fun. And that makes the pot up higher too. But what we do have to do is strengthen the rules a little bit. So what we're thinking of doing is I'm going to call up either the people on Roto. I don't know how football knowledgeable they are. But if not, I'm going to ask them first. I'll pay them to be the decider. Sean had said, well, instead of talking to them, why don't we do it through Twitter? Because we've done some shit through Twitter. I even called Twitter once. Remember the time I called Twitter, Brandon, on Rodney when he was complaining about a trade?
Oh, yeah.
And they said, get that fucking guy, and they beat them. Get that fucking guy out of the league, that pussy. Because that's a great trade. He didn't like it because it would affect him. You know what I mean? But I called them up. Because it seems like, I don't know why, it seems like every time I make a trade, somebody questions it like I'm cheating or something. Anyway, I never cheat. I stretch the rules a little bit. You know what I mean?
Sometimes you gotta.
Yeah, something like that. No, but in all seriousness, we're going to do something like that because it's a lot of fun to make trades. And it sucks that the people that trade, that's cool. But then you got the people that don't want to trade. They think that their team's going to stay like that. Ed, they think
I shouldn't have traded.
stay like
I should have just kept my fucking team.
either that or start trading early. One or the other.
One of the two should have happened. I should have gotten rid. I should have gotten rid of Cooper Cup.
If you
Cooper
get
Cup, I definitely
Cooper
should have.
Cup, you would have probably won the league if you get rid of him because you would have get somebody good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what I'm going to do with Christian McCaffrey this year. I'm telling it right now. Not only is he going to be my keeper, but he's a great football player. We all know he's going to get his yards. So what I'm going to do is someone's going to be out there very smart and take him off my hands. I'll trade him for two good players. Not very, two good players for a great player. That's the way the league goes. You know what I'm saying? Because he's going to get his shit. But I'm going to throw it out there and see what happens.
Or you could trade Mecole Hardman for DeAndre Hopkins.
Well, that was a good trade at the time. Hardman wasn't playing, and Hopkins was doing not good. Now listen, man, it happens. You know what I mean? It was a slip. Hey, listen, Hardman, it wasn't bad. He had potential. He just didn't pan out.
Yeah. I mean, he's not a future Hall of Famer or anything like DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah. I mean, I thought he was, though.
Yeah, that's all that matters, is that everybody in the trade thought he was.
I thought he was going to be a Hall of Famer, and so did he. So, yeah.
Sounds like a bunch of sarcasm going on here.
But, yeah, so that's that. That's that part of the deal. That's going to be the difference with the rule changes. I'm going to try and shoot for that. And whatever else you guys decide. That's why we have the meeting. We come here, I cook, we go swimming, we eat, we go over the rule changes. Whoever doesn't show up has no say.
Yep.
People complain. People want to complain about the rules. People want to complain about, we should do this, we should do that, but they don't show up. You want a rule change? I'll take any rule anybody wants. I don't care. I'm not that kind of commissioner or founder that it's my league, I do what I want. It's not like that. I do everything to make it easy for everybody. And if you want a rule in here, we all vote on it like we voted all the other rules. And if it's voted in, it's in because your money is the same as mine. You know what I mean? We all put money in. You're just as much an owner and commissioner as I am because you put the same money I put in here. So if there are any rules you guys want during the season, you let me know. And in the meeting, and we'll put it to a vote, and it'll be in. It'll be great. We look for that.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
I do like the last place thing, having a shirt that says "I suck at fantasy football" or something.
Well, I mean, we can do that.
That would be
Yeah,
cool.
we're just now that Tiffany has her whole shirt making business and stuff like that. We can make a hoodie or something.
I will. Well, first of all, this is what I want to do. I'm gonna get everybody. Now that I know she has a shirt making business.
Oh no.
I am perfect. I am gonna put it out there now. I'm gonna buy the whole league shirts.
There you go.
We're gonna get everybody's sizes, and we're gonna buy the whole league. Whatever you want on it, everybody has to send it to me. We'll send out the email.
That's right. Your guys' shirts will be out in the mail this week.
Well, I want to know what everybody wants. First, I need the sizes. Then I need what they want on it. Should we make them all the same?
Similar, at least.
Right? I mean, we'll put our names on them so that we'll have different names, but it'll be fun. We would put some, Guineas Mix and Spicks football, fantasy football league.
Maybe don't wear it around the riots and shit like that.
Keep that in.
I will keep. We'll only wear them in the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, imagine that you walk around Guineas Mix and Spicks. I'll be walking one block, I get my ass kicked by an Italian. The next block, two Irish guys. It's gonna take two Irish guys this small to kick my ass, and then this Puerto Rican guy's gonna stick a knife in my fucking kidney.
Exactly.
And there goes Billy, the founder.
Yeah.
Sean's the founder now.
Sean's the founder.
Sean's the founder now. Billy got fucking knifed. But yeah, that's it with the rules, and I'm glad you brought up the shirts. I didn't know that. That's a really good idea. And we will make a shirt for the last place person. They have to wear it at the dinner. All right, that would be the penalty. That would be a nice little penalty.
I like that, and they should have to wear it at next year's draft.
I like it.
And next year's draft. Hey, listen, I finished
And
last
it's gotta
one
be-
year.
We got to design the shirt to be obnoxiously loud.
Oh yeah, no, we'll make a. You know what? It's like the. Did you ever see the show The League?
Yeah,
The
like the
Shiva?
Sacco.
Was it
Like the
Shiva?
Sacco and the Chiva, yeah.
The Chiva, right? We'll make a
Yeah.
Chiva shirt. We'll make a Chiva shirt. Real bright. And you have to wear it at the dinner and you have to wear it at the draft.
There you
And
go.
that's your penalty. That would be fun.
I like it.
All right? That's what we'll do. And we'll pretty much at the end of the year have an idea who's going to finish last so we can start making the shirts. Don't forget,
Start making it now.
we don't go to the dinner.
Really, Brand? Brand, who are we gonna make it for? Who are you gonna make it for, Brand?
One of the Koopas.
Oh my God. You don't know that. I finished last once.
I have a pretty good idea. I'm just
I got
going by odds.
Ed, 1 year, my whole roster, you name it, they got hurt. Every time I picked somebody up, they got hurt.
I believe it.
It was unbelievable. I couldn't believe it. Was right after a year I won too. And I'm like, I can't believe this. I finished dead. I mean, you could, if you looked on Roto, I think you'd actually see, where I finished last. It was a horrific season, man.
They have a standings per year. I gotta look.
Yeah.
I gotta look at that.
Nothing more frustrating than everything you do going bad.
That's true.
It's pretty funny. But I'm looking forward to it. And you guys run a good show.
Oh, thanks.
We like it.
So anyway.
We have a lot of fun here. You talk a lot of shit.
Well, that's what's going to happen. And you know what? You can't get mad. That's what I told everybody. You
Nope.
cannot get mad. And some people do. And they shouldn't because, you know what? We're not serious. I mean, you can call me anything you want. Say whatever you want. But we're not serious. We each one of us love each other. This is family. This is what it's all about. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
you cannot take it seriously because it takes the fun out,
Yeah, you gotta have a tough skin.
Tell her to get the apple out of the friggin' picture, please.
Yeah, come on, Danielle. Come on.
No apples, Danielle. No apples.
Unbelievable. You see what you did? You ruined everything.
That's it.
She ruined the podcast, man.
That's it.
She's
That's
going
it. We gotta-
Giller style.
That's it. We're deleting the episode. Forget it.
That's right. It's gone.
Wow.
She
Man,
just gave Uncle Billy the finger.
You're getting real feisty over here.
it was me or Ed, Danielle.
But talking about the drafts and the different years. So Brad and I kind of went over like the moment in the draft that we wish we would have drafted another person. We had like a specific person that we were just thinking about that we didn't go that way. Do you have anything like that?
Yeah, I do. And you're not going to believe it, but it was Cooper Kupp. I wanted Cooper Kupp, and I kept pushing. I said, who the fuck is going to draft Cooper Kupp? I got time. And I kept waiting and waiting. I just waited too long. And when you took him, I melted. Haven't I been trying to get him off you since week 1? I tried to get him, and I couldn't get him for shit. And when he was doing really well, I was every night after that game was over, and he had his 100 yards, and the day he did the 200 yards, and I don't think you even played him that day. I don't think you had.
No, I played Cooper Kupp that day.
You played him.
That one game was the reason I left him in the entire year.
Right. Yeah.
Shit for the second half of the year, he just
I know.
got.
And I kept asking. I kept saying, well, he's in a little slump. He'll come out. He'll give him to me eventually. So I'm rooting for him to do bad. And every time he did bad, I got him this week. I got it. And you would not fucking give him up.
I believed in him. I was wholehearted.
I know you did. And you know what? It could have worked, but it didn't for either one of us. Because, it just would have gave me more excuses. Because the bottom line was I looked at my team and I said to myself this year, I really don't have any regrets. I have a good team. I do. Man for man, I had a fucking good team. But my 2 running backs totally destroyed my life.
Yeah.
And then Sean, I'm laughing at him all year. All year I'm laughing at him. And what does he do? He comes out of nowhere and wins the league. You know what that's doing to me? Every time I talk to him, Uncle Billy, do you want to look at the trophy? Or I'd be sitting down watching a movie. I'd get a text message 11:30 at night on the weekend because he's up late on the weekend. Uncle Billy, you know what I'm doing right now? I'd say, what, Sean? I'm staring at the trophy. And he knows how to get me. Like he fucking. So I talked to him this afternoon. I said, listen, I asked him a question. He goes, Uncle Billy, hold on a minute. Let me go look at the trophy. I'll tell you. Throws that in my face every time I talk to him. He gets me good. He does.
You know, where Uncle Billy's sitting right now, me, him, and Jason were sitting there. Drew Brees gets hurt. I think either he was first or Roethlisberger was first.
Right.
We're like, who is that? We're like, whose quarterback is that? We look it up. We go, oh my God, it's Sean's. We're laughing our asses off. 5 minutes later, Drew Brees goes down. We're like, whose guy is that? Like, that's Sean's other quarterback.
And we were hysterical. Jason was laughing. We were laughing because that's what we do.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's what we do.
Little
And,
did you know he was going to hoard 5 quarterbacks.
well, listen, he hoarded them and he won.
Yeah, it worked. It
Oh
worked.
my God, it was something else. And then that was the year when there was the one year where, what was his name? What's that running back's name for Seattle? The good running back?
Marshawn Lynch?
Marshawn Lynch, yeah.
No, before him. He got hurt. What was his name? Come on, did I write his name down at least? What the hell was his name? Alexander, Sean Alexander.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Oh, okay.
So
Holy
I
shit.
have Sean Alexander.
Wait before.
Well, listen to this. I don't know what year. I didn't write down the year. But Sean Alexander got hurt. I had him on my team. He got hurt. So I'm thinking he ain't coming back this year. They're talking all kinds of shit. So I called Sean up. Now, Sean was a little younger then, a little more impressionable, and I'm Uncle Billy. So I called him up. I said, listen, Sean, this is the deal. Sean Alexander's going to come back, and he's going to come back hard. I said, how about you give me this player, and I'll give you Sean Alexander, and you gamble. You just wait and see what happens. He goes, all right, Uncle Billy, you might be right. So I got off the phone laughing. I got I don't remember what it was, a top 3 wide receiver. I just fucked over my nephew. I'm happy, all kinds of shit. So 5 weeks later, Sean Alexander comes back, and Sean's in 5th place. I'm in 2nd, moving on up. All of a sudden, 180 yards, 210 yards, another 200-yard game, 160 yards, 5 touchdowns this game. 4th, he won the league because of Sean Alexander.
So Sean's the comeback king.
To this day, yeah, exactly. To this day, I haven't heard the end of that too. Hold on, let me ask Sean Alexander. Well, I'll ask Sean Alexander about that.
He's on the trophy, actually. He's on the trophy.
That's him on top. That's Sean Alexander. But yeah, true story, man. He see, and those are the memories that are fun. It's not about who wins or loses. All these memories. I lay in bed. So when I was on vacation in Kentucky for the 2.5 years, these are the things that made me laugh. These are the things that took me away from all that bullshit. Like take 2016 for instance. How can I put this? I was in a place where I couldn't even make a phone call. So I said to Carrie,
Amish country?
Yeah, I was in Amish country. Yeah, thank you. I was in Amish country.
Amish country in Kentucky.
Amish country in Kentucky I was in. And the last time I spoke to Carrie, I said, listen, I may not be able, because I was going to arrange it so I can do the draft. So I said, I may not be able to because, the Amish people were mad at me. And they were going to make it so I couldn't talk to anybody for a while. So Amish people suck. So anyway.
Edit that out. Edit that out.
Why, they're not going to watch this?
They have no TV. So I'm only kidding, Amish people. So anyway, Kerry goes in.
Heard and Kerry.
She does the draft in 2016. Don't ask me how she did it, but she did a pretty good draft. So I get out where I was, and I was able to find out what my team was. Oh, no, I didn't get out. I got a letter with my whole team and everybody else's team because I couldn't get to a phone because the Amish people were being very mean. And I said, it's not bad. It's not the best team, but at least I'll be competitive. So when I got out of where I was and they sent me to Amish Heaven, where I can make phone calls, I found out a few things. I made some trades. And from there, lo and behold, 2016, from Amish country, I won the league. How many people could you say wins a fantasy football league of this magnitude and this kind of competition from where I
From
was.
from a Kentucky Amish heaven.
From a Kentucky Amish heaven. It was amazing. And that was one of that was one of my fantasy football highlights. That was probably the most fun seeing Brandon and Jason. Jason would send me everything. I'd email him, and he'd email me back what's available and what I can, there's a lot of communication going back and forth. It was a lot of fun, And when I won, it was like totally, wow, this is cool. So
Yeah.
I could not.
That's bragging rights. That's bragging rights forever.
How many people can say they did that?
Yeah.
You know what I
Sean
mean?
can't. I'll tell you that much.
Nobody can say that, right? Sean, the non-founder.
Yeah.
So there. But yeah, Sean gets on me too. I mean, you guys harass the shit out of me. You do too, by the way, Ed. You did your own share of harassing me this year, and you're only in the league 1 year.
Yeah.
And it's
You got to start off strong.
It's hurtful. I want you to know.
That means more to me than you know.
Yes, that's why I wanted to tell you. I thought you would like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're looking forward to the future, and I think we're gonna have a lot of fun. And seriously, if you guys have any changes you want to do, just say them, man. I go for it. Listen, every year we try something new until we get it perfect, But do you guys agree with what I'm talking about as far as the trading? I think they should.
No,
Yeah, that's what we were discussing before.
Yeah.
Trading is a lot of fun. It's just it's got to be a little more reeled in. That's all. We can make bad trades because that's part of football.
But sometimes you're just offering for what you need. Like you're not you're offering for the categories you need.
Show me where you need this player you're asking me for, and I'll show you why I want the player. And let's give each other a reasonable. Listen, it doesn't matter. Someone's always going to get the better player.
Yeah.
But we don't want the better player being all pro, fucking running back to, the third stringer because he had a good game.
Or wide receiver.
Or wide receiver. Don't forget.
Wide receiver number 6 on the team.
Don't forget. I only made that trade because he just got off a really good game.
Yep.
He had a good game because every other wide receiver on that team was hurt. So he had a good game, and I got the trade in. What do you keep looking up for, Brandon? Is something up there?
Danielle's right there.
Oh, what is she doing?
Nothing.
You see what he's doing, Ed?
Yeah, I see it.
And yeah, what's going on over there while we're talking?
She's playing with the apples.
Oh, Danielle, stop it.
This is a professional establishment right here.
Oh God.
No, I'm looking forward to the owners meeting in August. I'm looking forward to that.
Fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. But yeah, if you guys have any other questions or something, just talk to me. I'm ready, baby. I'm the founder.
Yeah,
we look forward to.
But this is good, and Bobby, I know Bob. That'll be fun. I know Bobby's going to want to be on sometime. So I'd like to be on if Bobby's ever on to defend myself. Because
oh boy, you do it, man.
I'm gonna wear my Carson Wentz jersey.
Yeah, well, wear your jersey and let him tell you about how many people on your team suck this year before you even pick them.
He's like, your second rounder is gonna suck, right?
Yeah. Hey,
I don't know what position I'm in. It doesn't matter. It's gonna suck.
I'll give you my 6th round for your 2nd round because whoever you pick 2nd round really sucks.
Yeah, but 6th round, that's your bread and butter right there. That's
right. That's right. You got to do it. That's right. But how come you don't pick Eagle players? Do you do like I do? I don't like having Giants on my team.
I only pick one. I only pick one Eagles player. I give myself one.
Yeah. See,
this year it was Deshaun Jackson.
Right. That's right.
He played one game.
But he would have done well.
Great.
Listen,
he played great that one game.
He has a history of getting hurt, but he's a good player, man.
When he's healthy, he's good.
I mean, when he's healthy, how good is he?
He flies. He literally flies.
He hurt the Giants many a time.
Yeah.
Over the years. Remember the one year he did the run back? That was it. The only one thing.
Miracle at the Meadowlands?
No, that was a different thing. That was Herman Edwards. I'm talking about. This was only a few years ago when the Giants had the game won. All they had to do was not kick to fucking Jackson.
Yeah, that was the Miracle at the Meadowlands. Yeah.
They kicked to Jackson. He runs it back for a touchdown.
Yeah. He dropped the ball. He dropped the ball at kickoff, picked it up, and flew past everyone.
I'd rather see him kick it out of bounds, let him get at the fucking 40-yard line and go for a Hail Mary than letting him get that fucking kickoff.
I think they actually fired the kicker that day.
They should have. They should have. He should have been fired. The manager, the coach, they got fired too. For letting him kick it. That's the first
That's
thing you
it.
say to your kicker. Do not let that son of a bitch get the ball.
Yep.
And, you know, come on, bro. You can't do that. It's like throwing a fucking hanging curveball to Babe Ruth when you should walk him.
Yeah.
Stupid.
That's exactly it.
That's crazy, man. But yeah, thanks for having me on the show, man. This is a nice show.
No, yeah, we love having you. We're planning on having all the owners on one by one. And then hopefully for the draft, we'll have the video of it so people can actually see that, you know, we're not just talking shit about it.
Right.
Like it's actually a real thing.
Well, I want to just say something, being that I am the founder and the commissioner. And seriously, I'm like the boss.
Obviously.
Anybody else comes on, anybody badmouths me, you're off the league. Just so you know.
No worries. Anybody does it, we're shutting down the interview right there and cutting the episode.
Gotta cut the episode.
I think I heard Jason say some shit.
Yeah, he's gone.
Jason's actually the next up. He's next up.
Hey, listen. What are you doing Tuesday, Ed? You want to come up and play ball with us?
Yeah.
Are you working, Ed?
No, I'm working, yeah.
They still got you there? You out working?
Yeah, I'm essential.
Are you? Why? What do you do?
I'm not editing that out. I'm fucking essential.
Oh, shit. How long have we been on? This is a good show because it goes fast and you don't even know it.
This is a little over an hour.
Are you serious?
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, that's because you had a VIP on.
Yeah. I'm also going to edit it a little bit because we don't
No. Do not take the what do you call it? Those what do you call those guys with the hats that we were talking about? Where I was?
Oh, Amish?
Don't take my Amish comments out.
No.
Amish is staying in.
We'll probably cut the last 5 minutes and we were talking about nothing.
The Amish.
Yeah, probably that's where we're making plans for next weekend. I'll probably cut that part.
Yeah, probably, yeah. All right, go do your thing, man. I love you guys.
All right, thank you for coming on the show.
Tuesday, Brandon. Thank you, Ed. Thanks a lot, man. You guys do a great job. Now, what do I do if you guys are staying on? Or do I just click on that thing that says leave?
Yeah.
All right. Love you, Eddie. Listen, if you do come up, please come see me, all right?
Definitely.
All right. Love you guys. Take care.
Love you
See
too.
ya.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, so this is the end of the second episode of the Guineas Mixing Spicks Leagues, Fantasy Football Leagues, Personal Foul Podcast.
I told you would not want to miss this.
Yeah. I mean, you got to hear about Amish country. But yeah, thanks for listening, guys. We look forward to having the next episode. Not sure exactly when that one's coming out because there's only so much shit we can talk before the actual draft.
It might just be interviews from here on out.
Yeah, we can do interviews.
Get to know the other owners.
Yeah, and then the draft will be the big one. And then this year, we're going full speed. So definitely, if you guys have questions about fantasy football, if you guys want any, I don't know, if you want to hear about something from us, you can definitely shoot us a line. We have the Facebook page, Personal Foul Vodcast on Facebook. We have a YouTube page, Personal Foul Vodcast, and we have a Twitter at Personal Foul.
Yep.
Isn't it Personal Foul 31?
Something like that.
Yeah, some shit. We'll figure that one out. But yeah, we're your host. Thank you for listening. Again, thank you.
See you next time.
See you guys.